overnight, we learned a meteorite hit Russia, and the pictures, you'll have to see them. They're just amazing. Wow, that looks like a scene out of a movie, doesn't it? This happened about 900 miles east of Moscow. Russia's Academy OS Sciences estimates that the size of the object is at 10 tons, and it caused explosions and injured more than 400 people, many of them hurt by broken glass. You could hear some of those windows broken out. One resident said there was huge panic. People had no idea what was happening. And a large portion of a roof at a zinc factory also collapsed. Well, this morning, right here in Indianapolis, RTV6 reporter Julie Pursley is live at the Holcomb Observatory on the Butler campus with an expert on events like this. And Julie, this information is really invaluable because we all woke up with just so many questions.
Yeah, we do, and that's why we're talking to Dr. Brian Murphy. He is a professor of astronomy and physics here on the campus of Butler University. You know, we're getting more information, and we're seeing that this was in a thinly populated area of Siberia. Now Russia is sending about 20,000 troops to that area to survey it, and they're sending in aircraft as well. Why this response?
They're trying to probably find out where all the particles landed, because there was an airburst. It broke up into many pieces, so probably partly scientific, also partly, you know, as far as seeing what the injuries are, what damage, things like that have been done.
And we're looking at the video now. Talk about the airburst. Is that when we see the bright flash of light? Because the majority of the video we're getting is amateur dashboard cameras, surveillance video. What are we seeing in those pictures?
Well, as you see it come in, it brightens slowly. That's when it's impacting the atmosphere at tens of thousands of miles per hour. Eventually, the pressure on the front end of that gets so great, it actually explodes. And that's what happened when you see that bright flash. And the pieces from that explosion rain down on the area.
And the noises that we're hearing, are those sonic booms? Because we hear a couple, or could that be when pieces ended up hitting the zinc factory?
Most of it is probably sonic booms, multiple sonic booms from the various pieces. So, but some of it could be if you were nearby one of the impacts where these things came down, you may have heard something.
Well, and of course on the wall here you have a picture of an asteroid. Everybody's been talking about the fact that today an asteroid about half the size of a football field is going to be coming relatively close to the Earth. Everybody's going to want to know, is there any correlation at all, and are we in danger at all?
Well, it's probably no correlation between the two. This asteroid we're talking about today is roughly 30,000 times larger than when we're talking about. And the thing with this one, it's going to just be passing inside the orbits of our geosynchronous satellites.
Which we can see up here.
Right. So it's going to be passing about 15 times closer than the moon is to us. So it is a close call, occurs once every few decades or so. Occasionally, probably about once every 500 years, one of these can hit the Earth.
And that happened back in the early 1900s.
Right. Also in Siberia, Tunguska, one of these came down, another airburst, but being 30,000 times larger, it was equivalent to a hydrogen bomb.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Murphy, for joining us this morning. And we'll check back in with him again as more information comes in about 30 minutes. Live from the campus of Butler University, Julie Pursley, RTV6.
Julie Pursley, thank you so much. We are getting information each minute into our newsroom, so we'll have more, like you said, just later in our newscast.